What is up, game changers and soul warriors? It is I, Juniper Blue Mystique. I'm going to do a message on twin flames today. It's been a minute since I have sat down with my cards and with spirit and just done a regular message for the twin flames, right? I just haven't done it in a minute. It's been a very difficult journey for me. So before I get into that, I'm going to introduce myself really quick. I did just get out of the shower. I promise you, it's just wet hair. It's a very long hair, by the way. My hair goes down almost to my knees. So it's why it's always looking the same. It's very hard to curl and do things. But kind of introduce myself a little bit. Again, my name is Juniper Blue Mystique. That is what Spirit calls me. I am the one who brought about the ascension. Okay. I had an awakening, Kundalini, in 2019, and my whole life changed. The awakening was brought on by myself. Some things happened and I just went inward, and then bam, my whole life changed. I started doing things healing. I'm a master healer and an ascension master and a divine guide. Okay, and it's an epic light healing journey. That's what Spirit has called it from day one. I have cleared Mt Shasta. That's what that depicts right there. I sat on Saturn and rose Atlantis, which is actually depicted in this painting as well. See Saturn right up there? This painting was done before I did it all by somebody else. She did a reading on me when I was first going through my awakening and things. And that's what we got. And she's like, what does this mean? I'm like, I don't know. She goes, I'm going to paint it. I was like, okay. And then she mailed it to me. So that's where I got that. But it shows you exactly who I am, really. And then all these things started coming through, and I would look at that painting and go, oh my God, it's very real. And I talk about that painting a lot. But I cleared Mt Shasta on 11/11 of 2020. I started activating pyramids, the female pyramids first, and I didn't know the relevance of that until now. Then I sat on Saturn and rose Atlantis. I already said cleared Mt Shasta. I took us into 7D instead of 5D. What else did I do? I moved the poles. I did something to the moon. I undid the false concept of time. I've done stuff to the sun. I took us into 7D, which means I activated a whole new chakra system. I changed the crystalline grid of the planet to the masculine and feminine again. And I rose Jesus. After we rose Jesus and freed his soul, began the return of Christ. That was when my DM and I, my twin flame and I, met and started to unite. Unfortunately, the first one passed away due to fallen angel activity on our journey, and we almost didn't make the ascension. And most people don't know that. So my twin flame is very dear to my heart. My twin flame story is very dear to my heart. There's been a lot of sorrow, a lot of happiness, and a lot of joy on the journey, and I can't wait for more joy. The joy that came out of it is after my first DM's passing on August 30th of this last year, Christmas came about, and my new DM was called forward, but we got to unite the return of Christ, which was the union of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. So they were twin souls that were also ripped apart, you guys. Okay. And so my DM and I, they link us to Adam and Eve, and then Jesus and Mary Magdalene, they're said to be one and the same. Okay, so the return of Christ has already occurred, and it is about twin flames. And this is why I talk a lot about twin flames. Okay, if you want to unite with your twin flame, here's exactly what you do. You have to heal, get down to the whys you do what you do, right? So you can start healing, become heart-centered, and stay in balance. And it really truly is just about bettering yourself. Once you're kind of going inward, bettering yourself, trying to stay in balance, getting to the whys you do what you do, and healing that, you will unite with your twin flame. It's about balance and heart-centered action and just healing into your higher self. It's about evolving, okay? And that's how you truly unite with higher realm twin flames, okay? Because that's who my DM and I are the leader of. He's actually the leader of the 144,000, and so is Malachi. So that's who I am. So welcome. All of it is actually proven. It's not just me talking about it. It happened to me and through me during my awakening over the last 4 years, and it's all recorded and put on this channel for you guys to watch. Okay. I also have something really cool that came out about Jamie Foxx, and I had done a video on what happened to him recently on my Shining Light page. So I encourage you guys to watch that, because I'm going to do a video and post it later on that channel as well. It's just more proof into what I've been saying. So I love it when those come through, because it validates me, and I need that just as much as you do, right? No matter if I believe in who I am, I feel like we all need validation. So welcome, welcome. Like and subscribe before I go any further into the twin flame message for today and the energy, because I need people to awaken. We need people to ascend. Being the one that brought it about, it's important to me that people know what really happened, how Jesus really died, what it means to ascend, what brought about the ascension. Okay, there's so much here we can learn from. And my message yesterday from God was actually very, very important. And I find it interesting how a lot of people will watch ones where they want to shift timelines, but they won't watch a God message. I'm just going to leave that at that. It's very sad to me. So hopefully more people will watch that, because God actually is putting out a call for everybody who wants to ascend right now. Okay. Because we have a really hard time seeing truths, right? We just really do, which is interesting to me because the new Shining Light cases that I've done on Britney Spears and Jamie Foxx depict that completely. we have it's just, they're trying to fill you full of shit all the time, and everybody's just like, okay, I'll take it. Let me bend over. But it's what we've been ingrained to do. Okay? So, first thing I am told is I am not allowed to feel too much into my DM. I just dropped my cards on my chakra bowl, forgive. I am not allowed to feel too much into my DM, which explains why I don't feel him too much. I don't know why. That's the first thing that I'm hearing. Okay? And that's fine. That's all good. He's allowed to have his privacy, because we're so connected. It's kind of hard to have that privacy. It's really weird, isn't it? Like, I wonder like that too. Like, what all does he hear that I do and say? Oh my. As I've said before, my original DM passed away. He just couldn't get out of the fallen angel energy. He had done too much, and his heart became blackened. And the ascension was being thwarted because of him. And God gave him an option. It's all recorded on my video. And he chose not to come home. And so, luck, by the grace of God, right? God had a plan. I didn't know what the plan was. I just do what I do. And turns out I felt my DM die. We processed that. He took his soul out of his body and we put it into a new DM. What that really means, though, is my twin flame part went into a new soulmate. David, the soulmate that was before, his part died. Okay? So I have a new soulmate and a new twin flame soul. My soul went into a new DM. And it's that had to be shocking as all get out for him. That's the first thing I can say. And I had a lot of heartache to deal with. And so, it is what it is. I have no blames, no hard feelings towards him. And I just want him to know that. Twin flame unions can be very taxing, because what they're meant to do is, when you actually get the chance to meet your twin flame, it is supposed to be a reflection of what you need to improve in you. That is why it's very important to make sure that you are healing those things within you, that you're focusing on being the better version of yourself. Otherwise, it becomes like what magnets do. You know how they come together and it's like a repellent, okay? Because there's wounds to heal, and what you do is you bring them out in each other. Okay, making sense now? And so the best thing you can do is get to the nitty gritty of why you do what you do, heal your shadow, those kinds of things. Okay? It's very important. I've already cleared all karma for twin flames to unite. That is how I united Jesus and Mary Magdalene. I had to clear all karma back to Adam and Eve, and it almost killed me. That's what happened to my arm. Okay, if you see this arm, I was attacked while my twin flame took off with a fallen angel. It's so jacked up, you guys. This bone split all the way down to my elbow, okay, and it popped out of my skin right here. I just lightly fell, but I was attacked. And I had to do healings, and Jesus actually healed it and pulled out this big energetic thorn out of my arm. But it was gruesome, so it popped out of my skin right here. My whole wrist was broken off and shoved up into my hand, and these two fingers were jammed shut like this. And I had to ride my first ambulance ride. I couldn't have surgery, couldn't take pain meds. They literally just had to squeeze my bones back together, because I knew that if I went under, my DM would have died. Okay, and so would I if I would have been in big trouble. So this is part of my sacrifice. You can see my arm is not normal. So if you ever see it on here and you wonder what the hell is up with her arm, it just looks weird. It is weird. But Jesus kept doing healings on me. And I did healings on myself, and they said it would be normal. And in truth, it pretty much is. I am telling my DM, though, I'm still supposed to do like this massage on him. Because when my first DM and I met, I also went through massage school at one point, and I was supposed to do massages on him because I'm supposed to draw up healing and Christ's light through him. And that is still part of the plan for my DM. And I just need to say that. That's what's coming out now. because my journey has been very intense and insane with who I am and what I've done. Now, keep in mind, everything's recorded and on my channel for you guys to watch. I brought it about through workshops. So I do these workshops where I say I'm going to do these things, and then something else usually comes through, like activating pyramids and activating the portal of time, which was a sphinx, and taking us into 7D, and all these things that I had no idea were coming. That's the beauty of it, okay? Including the twin flame union. I used to talk a lot about I have to unite the twin flames. I cleared the path for everybody to unite on their own, but I united Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Okay, the return of Christ was me and my DM uniting, and Jesus and Mary Magdalene uniting, and I cleared the Holy Grail. And everything else I did too, is what Spirit's saying. Okay, so these are things that are relevant and I need to talk about. Okay. Also something about Book of Revelations 16:12. So I'm going to look that up really quick. I don't know this kind of stuff. It's just coming in. I don't even know if that's true. But when you do these and you look for the Bible, please be careful. Do not go into King James versions or anything like that. They're all false. Okay? A lot. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys, I have to talk about this. This is very important. So the last workshop we did, right now we are currently activating masculine pyramids. Okay, we are on our last week of it too, by the way. So if you did the feminine pyramids with me, you're going to feel off if you didn't do these ones. I mentioned the Euphrates River because I cleared the collective and individual shadow that began drying up. It is very relevant. It is biblical. And they just said Revelation 16:12 as I'm sitting here with you. And it says the sixth angel poured out his bowl on the great river of Euphrates, and its water was dried up to prepare for the way of the kings from the east. So don't do the King James Bible. So again, that's coming through. Oh, damn, Gina. It just keeps wanting me to give the King James version, and this is what upsets me. It's like they keep the truth so tucked away. Okay, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. I don't like the word kings. It has nothing to do with kings. They're saying, no, it's God's. So 16:12, right? Is that what I said? 16:12 is relevant for right now. Okay. They keep pushing these things on me. So the book of Revelation is actually quite old, and they have manipulated it and changed it into all these things. Just like I talk about, a lot of scrolls and, oh my gosh. The original Bible. I don't know why my brain is going blank. I tried to do a video on that one and they blocked me. Okay, so Revelation 16 is the 16th chapter of the book of Revelation of the Apocalypse of John. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? The Apocalypse of John. John the Apostle is the one who killed Jesus. He's the one who ripped apart Jesus and Mary Magdalene. He poisoned Jesus and then got Magdalene to gather his blood with the cup. And then they wrote the Holy Grail in Jesus's blood. So it was against mankind. Okay. And that's a lot of what I've cleared. Do you understand? With bowl number 5, the throne of the beast and its state has become enveloped by darkness. The 5th bowl covers the Antichrist state in darkness. The pouring of the 7th bowls of Revelation 16 is a reflection of the pouring out of drink offerings during Pentecost. That doesn't make sense. You guys, this is so... I love how Spirit does this. You see what I'm saying? This is what they wanted me to bring up, and this is what I'm bringing up. The way Jesus died, it's depicted, I recorded it. It was during a workshop that I did in Patreon back in 2021, I believe, on August 6th or 7th, okay? It came through. I didn't know it was coming. All of a sudden I saw Jesus in his lifetime. He was wearing like those sheet type things, right, with a belt and his sandals, and he was very like sun wind dried. Like he looked so parched and dehydrated and like sunburnt and just like leathery skin. Like he was just not well. And he was hungry as all get out. And he didn't quite trust John. But John was like, here's bread, here's wine for my brethren. Here's bread, here's wine. And I felt Jesus hesitate. And it's recorded on my channel. You can watch it. I felt him hesitate, you guys. And he decided to drink the wine and eat the bread. And both had, I think it was strychnine in it, is what I said, I think. Something that's not normal today, right? Like a lot of people don't use it as poisonings today, but they used to. I think that's, but it was very painful. So then I started processing his death. It took him at least good 20, 30 minutes to die, and he bled from the inside out. And it was poison from John the Apostle, okay? So 16:12 talks about, Revelation 16 in general talks about the apocalypse of John in the New Testament of the Christian Bible. So let's go, the Dead Sea Scrolls. Let's go with the old descriptions, okay? Not the new ones, not the ones that are done by King's versions and all this kind of stuff, because they change it for manipulation. Religion was all religion, okay? That is true. They all lied to your asses. Like, it's true. And the real difficult part is most people won't even look inward and see who I am. They've judged me. It's hurt very badly. We have a really hard time looking at truth. We have a really hard time seeing truths because we're so ingrained to not see truths. So the DM, I'm not allowed to feel his energy right now. But I want him to know I love him. I feel like he's still sad. I feel like he feels guilty. And I want to take all his guilt away. There's no need for guilt from him. But I don't want to lose him. I don't want any other DM. And I need my DM to know that because he's very special to me. He holds keys from what happened. Like if I lost this DM, I would be done. So I just want him to know that. Okay? Because my first DM died due to fallen angels. Okay? You guys, this is very real. So John the Apostle was said to have worshipped the angels. Okay? And Jesus kept warning him, don't worship angels. Angels were created by God. You're only supposed to worship God, not angels. And then it turns out John, the apocalypse of John. Okay? John, and I don't know what they've depicted that in the real Bible, what that really means. They just try to decipher all this, but it doesn't make sense. John murdered Jesus, created the Holy Grail, which was written in Jesus's blood. So they took his blood and they wrote bad things, right? They wrote this contract. I didn't need to read what the contract said. I undid it, and it was very painful to undo. So please watch my Resurrection of Christ video from Christmas this year, because that is when I united Jesus and Mary Magdalene. I saw her gather the blood in the cup, and then I saw him write the contract in blood, and I had to undo it word by word by word, but I don't know what it said. I didn't care to know what it said. It was very painful for me to do. Okay? And so that's why they're pointing to Revelation 16 for this message today of the twin flames. The twin flames isn't just simply about everybody else necessarily. It's everything. It's Jesus. It's Mary Magdalene. It's me. It's my DM. And then it's every other twin flame, right? It's everything. Okay? And so I want you guys to take that into consideration. If you are struggling on your twin flame journey, it is simply because you're not balanced and heart-centered and you haven't healed. That is what's calling for you to do. That's why you might be feeling like you're being bombarded by negativity. You might be feeling all of these things. Because I've told you guys, I cleared the individual and collective shadow. Okay? You have to do that. When I said I took us into 7D and I made it harder to ascend, I didn't lie. That means you have to heal more. I cleared all the karma back to Adam and Eve. So there's no more karma you have to clear with your twin flame. It is literally just you healing you and being balanced in your heart center and focused on you, not your twin part. Because if you do that, it's like a repellent. Okay? So it's going inward, focusing on you, making sure you're improving every day. You know what I mean? Feeling beautiful with what you do, with who you are. And then you will unite. It becomes like a whoop, and you guys unite, okay? Because I've already done the work. I really have. All right? And so there is a call. You might be feeling that push. You might be feeling that call. It might feel yucky. You might feel like you're being attacked. Okay, this is beautiful. I love the way Spirit did this because I didn't know this was coming. I was feeling quite negative. I'm trying to get out of that negativity. I'm trying to heal the relationship that I have with my DM. And he keeps sending me songs of, like a kind of like he's upset. I feel like he regrets his choice because he didn't show up for Christmas. But it is because of him that I was able to do what I did. That I need him to hear that. It is because my DM took on that soul, became a walk-in on August 30th, that I was able to unite Jesus and Mary Magdalene on Christmas. So I hold in my heart space that he helped me do it. Okay? And I don't want to go back. Do you understand? I want my DM that I have today. And I would be devastated if I didn't have him. All right? Because he knows what happened to me. He holds that energy. Like, I can't have anybody but him. Okay? So there's a lot here you guys need to catch up on. There's so many videos that people hesitate to even watch. I have almost 400 subscribers now, and you would think people would pay attention. But even Spirit says they don't believe me. They don't believe me. They go into judgment. This is why I wanted to die. I really did. After I united Jesus and Mary Magdalene, I kept saying, what's the point? I began attacked again, and I just went into a state of, what's the point? I felt judgment from everybody. I felt no love, no recognition. And it's like, why can't we see the truth? Why can't we see the truth? With like my shining light into the darkness cases, I tell you what happened to people, and people still have a really hard time seeing the truth. And even when I put out proof of, hey, look, they're proving what I said. And it's like, psh, psh, psh. I'm just waiting for the day where people actually really wake up. Like, we need that, you guys. We really need that. We really need to push that. Okay? Because I don't just talk about these things. 2122, it was my life. It is literally my life playing out raw for everybody to see. And all people do is judge me. And it's painful. Okay? So I would love for people to watch the videos. I would love for people to share them out. All right? The twin flames are very important. That is our world. That is what God made. Okay, Adam and Eve were twin flames. Jesus and Mary Magdalene are twin flames, and they're one and the same. I can't repeat that enough. And so Revelations 16:12, all of Revelation 16 talks about the apocalypse of John, which is what I brought about. That is what I brought about. Do you understand? I did it through clearing Mt Shasta. I sat on Saturn and rose Atlantis. I had to clear my own contract there because I died, and I said it would never rise again. Okay, once I cleared that, we rose Atlantis with Hermes. Prometheus has done work on this with me. I activated the portal of the gods. I activated the portal of time. I cut off life support to California. Fiji is now holding the Earth's root chakra, which originally was that. And Fiji also has a pyramid underwater there that's feminine. The masculine pyramids are along the equator line that we have been doing. We have one more this Saturday. And in there, I had mentioned the Euphrates River. There's like these tunnels there that I was collapsing recently. Okay, so I find that interesting how 1612 talked about the great river of Euphrates, and its water was dried up to prepare for the way of the kings. Okay, the book of Revelations, don't do the king's versions, please. You have to pay attention to the right one. Okay, it is biblical that the Euphrates River dries up. It began drying up when I healed the shadow. Okay, collective and individual. And this just keeps trying to shove the King James Version in my face, and so I don't like that. So please pay attention to Revelation 16:12 for who I am and what I've done and what I say. This is God asking you guys to wake up, because the ascension is a rite of passage. Not everybody gets to go through. It is for those that can hear the call. It is for those that can shine their light. It is for those that can wake up, okay, and do their healing. You have to heal your karma, your shadow. Like, it's true. All of your past lives no longer exist anymore. And your future is not quite created. It's going off of your heart space. That's Judgment Day. Okay? And this is all relevant. This is the apocalypse of John. John is the one who killed Jesus, John the Apostle. Okay? Now, I didn't know that until I did that video on my channel, which is in my Ascension playlist. And 100 and some people watched that one. But they don't believe me. That's what Spirit is saying. They went into judgment. They don't believe it. They didn't participate. They just kind of watched, like, there's what Spirit's showing me is they watch maybe 2 minutes in and they stop watching. They think I'm full of shit. And that's spirit calling him out right now because it's harsh. It's like we have a hard time seeing the truth. And that's what I said in the video yesterday. God actually said he put out a call for everybody and only 24 people watched it. And I'm like, it's not on me anymore. I don't care anymore. If people don't want to watch, I can't let it affect me anymore. The right ones will, and the right ones will get to ascend and get to go forward, right? So part of the message today is Revelation 16:12. It talks about Euphrates River. I said I was drying up the Euphrates River. I already did that, but then I also collapsed the tunnels through fires, through earthquakes and things like that. And I also talked about the Kraken, and then I talked about the other volcano with the K name, and I know that recently erupted too. And then I also said there was another volcano underwater that was going to erupt. That was in last week's workshop. Okay, we have one more part to that. It's called the Around the World Excursion. These are the masculine activations. Again, I'm feeling I'm not allowed to feel into the DM. Okay, I'm just not. I'm blocked from his energy at this time. So let's see what the cards have to say. But they're saying it's nothing bad. Okay, Mt Shasta. Keep in mind I cleared Mt Shasta on 11/11 of 2020. This is relevant. That was part of the divide. It was part of what was keeping a divide. It was very low there. All right, what else do we need to see today, Spirit? Dude, this video is becoming even better than I thought it would. I love this. This is twin flame messages today, okay, but it also has to deal with the ascension. Balanced forces. Okay, focus on balance. Focus on balance because something big is coming through. Twin flames, focus on balance. Balance of the heart-centered kind, okay? Balance and power. Do you have your power? Call back your power. Focus on balance of the heart-centered kind. And if you haven't healed your shadow, heal your shadow. Because something big is coming. So there's a big transition. Something big is coming. All right, this is for twin flames. Big time. DM, you are being requested. I don't know how else to say that. I had to step up too because I was not anymore. Those last few months, I just kind of gave up and God called me back, okay? Freedom. This is freedom of another kind, you guys. Something big is coming. Some big shift in the crystalline grid has already occurred, and it's playing out in our environment right now. We must be in balance. If the DM and I don't unite, something is off, okay? This is about freedom. This is true freedom. This is knowing. This is being able to see the truths and come into true freedom, okay? What else do we need to see, Spirit? For all twin flames right now. But the twin flame is for everybody, you guys, so I don't just want twin flames hearing this. Air, paradigm shift. It's in your mind, right? There's a new reality. It's a paradigm shift. Earth, nature, and nurture. Okay? Connect to the earth, pay attention to the earth, but there's a big shift in the earth coming. And this is what God told me the other day. He's like, look, you need to get this straight because there's something big coming and we need you prepared. And I'm like, okay, all right. I hope I don't die. Hope my DM doesn't die. And everybody can mock that all they want. I've already lost one. It's not a fun thing to feel him have a heart attack and die and his soul ripped out of his body and put into me. I got the blue light and that's why I swelled up so bad. And then somebody was like, do you have diabetes? I was like, no, broke my heart. I had to take on my DM's soul for a minute. It was horrible. You guys, this is big. I cannot reiterate enough. Something big is coming. This is about a freedom shift. Okay, a freedom shift. That's why we have to be aligned. That's why we need to be together. So make sure you're in balance, you're heart-centered. All right, I'm hearing it. I can't even do anything outside of my heart center anymore because they think that's why he didn't show up the first time, is because I was working crisis and I wasn't enough in my heart center. I wasn't doing anything wrong though, and I got judged as if I was. So be very careful with that, okay? But be in balanced forces. But these are the energies. This is what Spirit's talking about, is most people have a very hard time being still and looking for truth. Get out of your head because there is a reality shift happening right now. And it deals with the shift to the earth structure. That's what I'm hearing in these. And Mt Shasta is relevant because that's also a volcano, but it's part of the first thing that I cleared. Do you understand? I had to remove so many souls out of that mountain. It's not a good mountain, and it's also filled with alien activity is what Spirit is saying to me right now. It is filled with alien activity, and it's very important, something to pay attention to. Something's going on there. And there's a reason I cut off life support to it, not just because it was corrupt. Okay? These are new blueprints of love. That's one of the first things I talked about with my DM is we had to change the blueprint of love. And he and I uniting was doing that. His and my love is what beat the fallen angels. Do you guys understand that? It was the love he had for me and the love I had for him. And that love is still relevant for my new DM. Okay, it really very much so is. So stay out of your head, recognizing that this is a new blueprint of love. We need to focus on the unconditional love, but it's also a new blueprint for the earth. This is an aether. These are seamless, unspeakable. These are things beyond the understanding of the limited mind space. So stay in balance. It's about a true freedom shift. And home, heart home, you must be heart-centered and in balance. I can't make this up if I tried. Okay? Heart-centered and in balance. There's a big shift ahead. Okay? The DM is well aware. He's well awake. He knows who he is. They want me to say that. He's never not known who he was. There was never a question for him. Since the day he took on that soul. Okay? There was no question. He never questioned who I was either. And so Spirit wants me to talk about that. And then they want me to pull a card from here and from my Crow Tarot. Pay attention to Revelation 16, especially 16:12 right now. Very important because of the work that I've done. So when we were activating the masculine pyramids, I told you it started on the equator line. It was in Ecuador. Then we went to British Columbia, Zimbabwe, and then Budapest was in there because I had already done ones there, and Kenya. And then the last one we did, we went to the Congo. We eliminated the divide in the Congo, and that is when I went to the White House and I eliminated some dark tunnels underneath the White House. I talked about this, and I started imploding all of these tunnels. And then we went to the Euphrates, and we went somewhere else, and I kept clearing out bodies there. Okay, and then my DM cleared out a lot of souls from like the Holocaust stuff, right? From Jews, from Judaism, from all of that stuff. He started healing all of that. And I started collapsing all those tunnels. And there were all these people with these dark cloaks on with upside down crosses. The only way crosses were involved was darkness, not of the light. Jesus never died on a cross. He was murdered by John the Apostle, and he bled out. Okay, this is a lot. That's the problem. A lot of people aren't paying attention and they're not keeping up, even ones who've watched what I've done and know who I am. And that's why Spirit is like, God put out a message yesterday for everybody because it's big. Everybody's missing a lot of things here. This is biblical. This is your true Bible. This is the true history that will be written for all to see in the future. Okay? And it includes me in it. So be very careful. But the last ones that we did in the Congo, I went underneath the White House. We blew up the White House. I saw all these things and I took it back to England. So the virus, the V and all of that had nothing to do with China, they said. I did see Kim Jong-un's skin fly off of him, though, by the way. We took his skin off. And then, we did. And Biden's, too. We took his skin off. Talk about being exposed. That's what that makes me think of. Okay? And then we also, like, all these dark robes and things, and these upside down crosses. And it took me to the inauguration that recently happened of the new king, whatever the hell his name is. And there was a figure there with a dark cloak on. And I was like, oh, and that's what that made me think of. It's all related. And they said it was us and them that created the virus and the vaccine and stuff. It was not China. Okay. Why would we blame China? Does anybody know that one? Because we owe them money. Why not diminish their power if we owe them? That's what we do. Not we, but you know. So I'm talking fast about it all, you guys, but it is real, and everything I've mentioned has been recorded and witnessed. This is what Spirit wanted me to talk about. This does pertain to the twin flames. These two candles here were made for the union of Jesus and Mary Magdalene, you guys. It's very, very, very real. Okay. Oh, look it. We had this card, and I have my new necklace that I made right here. Very important. Freedom, the freedom ring. All right, so what they want to say is my DM is a very strong person. He's not unaware. He's not awake. He's very aware of who he is. He's doing things in his environment. He's dealing. He's learning. Okay. He's also healing. He feels me more than I know. He does hear me. And that's what they're saying. Don't rush into it. Allow nature to take its course. Okay. No worries. That's what they're saying. No worries. Don't try to rush anything. This is why they're saying that. And that's also why I feel like the DM is blocking his energy from me. A little bit. Not in a bad way. Not necessarily in a bad way. To give space. To readjust. But not to rush anything for twin flames. So the moment you're like, where are they? Why is this not happening? You block it anyways. I told you that. What you need to do is be in your heart center in balance. Okay, these are a new blueprints of love. This is not karmic. These are not karmic relationships. These are not childish relationships. They're not. They can't be emotionally manipulated. And I'm getting chills. Okay. They are higher advanced relationships and reunions. And they need to be respected as such. And Jesus and Mary Magdalene have to come together. That's what they just said. Let me repeat that. Because me and my DM have to come together. Jesus and Mary Magdalene have to come together. They have to. He cannot live outside of the contract, and neither can I. Okay. And they're also saying, don't let outside messages deceive me. Okay, because I saw one earlier. She's like, oh, we need to heal all the twin flame stuff. They're saying it has nothing to do with me and my DM. So that is also very helpful. Romance, Cupid's arrow strikes. Allow love to rise again. That's what they're saying. And they want me to close my eyes, lift the deck. Power. You instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no or to walk away at any time. Okay? You know what is right, and you have the power. And only time will tell. Okay? You're trying too hard. Give it time. Okay? So stop focusing on it. Stop thinking about it. It's a lot to process. It's a lot to do. He will be present energetically, at least, in this weekend's workshop. So I asked if I needed to postpone it. I thought maybe I did. And they said, nope. He will be there energetically at least. Okay? So we are good there. But there is something important coming through, and we must unite. So that's why they're really, truly pointing for balance. Okay? An adjustment of focus. All right? Adjustment of focus. Paradigm shift, air. Air is the mind. Adjustment of focus. Okay? Guys, I have my second card deck about to be released. Woo! I'm uploading it now to the publishing company. Oh my gosh. So excited. The first one was the deck I created when my first DM was alive. And I left that one raw. Like, I will not manipulate it in any way, shape, or form. But that's still available too. If you want to purchase it, it's an oracle deck. And my new one is about to come out from the gods. All right, what else do we need to see for the twin flames? Please tell me. Guys, please like and subscribe to my channel. Join my Patreon if you want to. Support the work that I do. At least acknowledge it by watching the videos. You want to think I'm crazy or that I don't know what I'm talking about or what I'm talking about isn't real? That's not on me. That's on you. Watch the video from God yesterday. Trust me. It hurt my feeling, but it doesn't hurt me anymore. God help me heal that one. Because that's just a limited mind space, okay? That shows the conditioning that we've all been under. Where we can't see the truths, but we believe somebody like Teal Swan, who is so far from awake. So far from in line with the light. Okay? This is what we've been stuck in. The Apocalypse of John. Woo woo! Ooh. All right. The Chariot, Knight of Swords, and Strength. Okay? Now this speaks wonders. All these three together really truly to me talks about, oh my gosh, it's like, you know, fly above the storm first of all. Why would you let negativity affect you? Be strong, you know, it's like knowing what you want, having the gusto to take it. Why would you let anything in this world stop you? That's the energy I'm getting from these cards. Sorry. It truly is. Okay. We have the Chariot, the Knight of Wands, and Strength. It's like, where is your strength? Where is your power? You survived so much. You've weathered the storm so far. Do not let anything stop you now. It's like we are in the final stretch. Right? This is it. I feel like it's like, make sure you know what you want and just take it. Just go for it. There should be nothing stopping you here. And I feel like that's the DM's energy a little bit right now as well. Except for he's a little hesitant because of questioning. But it's like no need, right? It's this masculine energy. It's like riding above the storm. Like you have the power to ride above the storm. It shall not affect you. Okay? I need to say that. It shall not affect you. It's false pretenses. It's a smoke screen. All right? It's like, you know what you want. This Knight of Swords, it's like, I know what I want. I have the power and I am soaring to it, right? He's riding above his steed. And strength. There's great strength in all of us. All you have to do is summon it, call upon it, and use it. We get in our heads and we assume we don't have strength. They're saying one more from this deck. I think I'll go outside for a while. It's a beautiful morning. Ah. That's what I'm hearing. Yep. And this is the Eight of Swords. It's like you have had a great battle, right? That's what I feel like here. It's like this crow, it's blindfolded and it's stuck in all of the trouble it had. And that kind of brings me to this, right? It's like there has been a battle here. There's great wounds that were created. But there's fear. This just talks about fear. It's like thinking that if I do something, it's going to hurt me. But it's not. Okay? So it's like don't play into the energies of that fear and those old wounds. Okay? That's what I'm hearing here. Jesus and Mary Magdalene have to unite in the physical. Have to. And until they do, tower moments will continue to occur. So I know I've had tower moments coming through, so I'm sure my DM has too. He can't. So what they're telling me is his world has to be directed here. He can't be outside of that contract. He was well aware of it. He chose to take this on. This was not a surprise for him. And so he has to align with that contract. Until he does, everything will continue to crumble. It's like if I chose to go against it, my whole world would crumble as well. Okay? So there's truth to that, you guys. So we have to pay attention. This is dealing with Revelation 16. Revelation 16:12. I talked about the Euphrates River several times in my last workshop. I undid it even more. I went into the tunnels. There's like all these tunnels. It's related there. That is also where I believe the fallen angels were housed. That I've already taken all their power away. Okay, I already have. They're just pissed off. So recently I also talked about another part of Revelations 19:10, I think it was, and now they're saying 16:10. So I find that very interesting. Was it 19:12? It was 19:10 and now 16:10. And this is all very relevant and all very, 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 very important. I don't know what else to say here. They're saying there's nothing else to say. Mic drop. I'm out. Till next time. Hasta la vista. We'll see who watches this video.